Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put this off forever. I've jotted some notes down that's, I don't know, sums it up as best as I can think of. But if I keep polishing it, I'll never finish it. Okay, the nerd subculture. That kind of rage and everything about never fitting in, and I can't catch the ball in PE. I can't get the girls in high school. In college, I couldn't make the grades. Um, I have here was supposed to have a bright future as a computer nerd. That was one of your instances of saving grace. Whenever you're the skinny kid who was the different when he got made fun of, that kind of stuff. But yeah, at least you're smart. At least you have that knack in the sciences and that kind of stuff, or whatever kind of intellectual thing. I was later diagnosed with bipolar 2 in 2002, and later suspected of having ADHD. So I wasn't concentrating in school. I was always behind my homework. I was always tired. I was always jittery and nervous. I would do things where I calm myself down to relax to study. When I would study, I could maintain information. I would go down a page, and I would get down to the bottom of the page and realize I started spacing out and thinking on a tangent within the first paragraph, and so I had to go back and reread. It was nightmarish. It's amazing I pulled off the few C's I did in what was probably over a decade's worth of college attendance. I only have 55 credits to show for it, which is like 2 years, but it's mostly electives. Um, I was suicidal hardcore my junior year in high school, and many times on and off throughout college, some worse than others, but a lot of that's like a big blur. At one point in one of my writings, I referred to, like in '98, I was suicidal 4 major times in my life. It doesn't mean that I was actually, you know, uh, that kind of stuff. So, I'm an aggressive analyzer and an obsessive, which is something that's usually associated with bipolar 2, and you get more of the mania than the depression. But you ping pong between the two poles, bipolar. Um, I have here, besides my traits of obsessiveness and grandiosity and that kind of stuff, my doctor, psychiatrist asked me, "Do you have a lot of unfinished projects, Kirk?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? A million." And one time I brought up with him, I noticed a recurring theme in my life was that every goal I had was some gigantic, huge 30-year blueprint, and it needs about $100 billion to take off. Is that anything I have to do with bipolar? He goes, "Oh yes, that's a huge, huge element." I have tons of video games and storylines that I want to do. I have a rap organization and rap album I think get off the ground. Science fiction that I write, political books, software I like to write, a movie script and series, types of characters that use the software, the virtual reality, political software. I have no practical thinking. So I fought back in life with the super alienation that I had and not getting the girls and all that. And I've seen in the nerd subculture, the average male nerd lets it bury them and break them. They learn not to fight back. They learn to be broken wimps. And a number of times they've hated me for having initiative and for caring. Because brave men learn not to care because everything's hopeless and pointless, so only fools give a damn. Um, with all my abstract ideas, um, developers who have programmers under them usually were former programmers who worked their way up. And me, I would never been able to do that because I never finished my computer science degree, even from a tech position I had, and I'm CompTIA Plus certified. But um, I've been fired from tech jobs for being too slow. So all dressed up and no place to go. And I ask, it seemed to be, I don't have anything practical that I could do or accomplish. It seems as if, why would God make me only good or passionate about the stuff I was meant to never do? I suck at anything practical, all dressed up and no place to go. Can't hold on a job to anything. Sometimes tolerated, but I was never efficient. And my recent psychiatric nurse practitioner argued that I was dopamine chasing. She called it was because nothing gives me fulfillment, so I've had bigger and bigger goals, trying to get some kind of a substance or sustenance, I think they call it, to attain fulfillment and satisfaction. Um, and it's disheartening because the broken nerds that I've seen that have failed and learned that the big bad world break their back and all that. Some of them end up having premarital sex and were dedicated virgins until marriage. I'm a conservative or Christian or something. Um, oh, I don't know, maybe something. But I feel like it was for nothing. And my grandiose ideas don't seem to be coming into fruition. I'm trying to have a .com startup. I see that churches are powerless today. I say Britney Spears has more power in her right thinking than all the Christianity. Um, so if bipolar people always envision um, grandiose, gigantic, crazy, gigantic things, why is it that it seems as if God made me only good at stuff I was meant to never do, which makes no sense, and I suck at everything else? What religious grounds and religious doctrine do I use with all the denominations, whether you're Protestant or Catholic or not even Christian or something like that? Jews, Muslims, who knows? Buddhists, who knows? What do you do in your religion? What are your doctrines that Buddha set forth and Jesus Christ set forth and Muhammad said about this, and to find your purpose to derive what God wants out of you? A burning bush talked to Moses, I am the Lord your God, and here's the Ten Commandments. So he kind of knew. It's not like for everybody the clouds part and the hand of God touches you in the forehead and now I know what to do and that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at now. I'm wondering was ever a hoax, and it's nightmarish with women. Women never get me right. They misinterpret me about everything. They misrepresent me. I don't resonate well with women, which alienates me against women. So women repel me. Looks like I'll never get married. That's right here. And what does God want out of me? What complex doctrine can you use to say what does God want out of me? One priest on EWTN, Catholic priest, said that many Catholics say the reason why a lot of Protestants gain ground against the Catholic Church is because their leaders, they appeal to emotion and they give simple answers to complex questions. There may be a stereotype or whatever, and I understand that, but religion has got to be more than just feel-good rhetoric. It's got to get some hardcore doctrine, some micro-specifics. So to all my Christian friends, or if you're Buddhist or Muslim or Jew, or not even monotheistic, what if you believe in multiple gods or something? If you're a Hindu or a Taoist, or I don't know the different faiths and stuff, there's one like Unitarian and I don't know, Scientology, who knows, or even if you're an atheist or agnostic, what criteria do you use to determine what you do in life to find your niche? So that's what I'm struggling with right now, and I'm 48, and it's just, it's tearing me apart. It's just, the rage just builds and builds and builds. And then with my condition, I don't have much initiative to do much. I kind of flop through each day and really don't get much done. And I try with the pills, and my doctor gets you on this, and my doctor gets you on that, and I say I have a little bit of energy, a little bit of focus. I've gotten small results at various points in my life, but it never lasted. So that's kind of my situation.